As we embark on this journey together, let us recall the words of Isaac Newton, who once said, and I quote, "If I've seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants," close quotes. I now call upon the Vice Chancellor and Principal of the Central University of Technology to deliver her welcome address and to formally introduce the Chancellor to the congregation.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Chancellor-elect Dr. Vincent Maphai, former Chancellor of the Central University of Technology, Free State, Justice Mahube Mulemela, Chairperson of Council, Dr. Charity Mbileni Murema, members of Council that are present this afternoon, university chancellors from respective universities, vice chancellors and senior management from respective universities, Deputy Director General Dr. Marcia Sotigwa, and senior management from the Department of Higher Education and Training, probably in absentia. I'm not sure that I have seen them, but we expected them to be here. Our USAF CEO, Dr. Petiwe Matutu, and the chairperson, Professor Francis Peterson, in absentia. Also, I think they are not here. But we have the National Research Foundation CEO, Dr. Fulufele Nelwamondo, the CUT executive team and the MENCOM members, Senate members, our SRC presidents, and the student leadership of both Welcome and Bloemfontein campuses, the leadership of Labor, leadership of the CUT alumni, representatives from our government, business and industry partners, parents and guardians, students and staff, and to you all, our distinguished guests, it is my huge pleasure to address you this afternoon on behalf of the entire CUT University community and to extend a warm word of welcome to this momentous occasion, which is a milestone in the history of the Central University of Technology, Free State. We are very excited and honored to have everyone gathered here today to inaugurate Dr. Vincent Maphai as the 4th Chancellor of this university, which was founded 20 years ago. We are incredibly grateful, in particular for the support and presence of other university chancellors, vice chancellors, and senior management from various universities. After 20 years of existence, we are excited about the opportunities of reflecting on all our remarkable achievements and about embarking on the next phase of the journey for the university. And we invite you all to be part of it. I also extend my gratitude to our strategic partners in government, business, industry, and local communities for taking the time out of your busy schedules to celebrate this occasion with us. I would have loved to use this unique opportunity of having all of you distinguished and high-profile guests gathered here to brag about our university's achievements, as the video clip that you have seen has highlighted, and to talk about our ambitions as part of our vision going forward. But I do not wish to take away from this special occasion, and so all I can say is to reassure you now that Dr. Maphai has chosen well to be part of this very fine institution with ambitions as big as the size of the planet. I must recognize, however, that we meet here at a time when universities in South Africa in particular are struggling with a plethora of challenges, many of which you hear and read about every day. From systemic student funding failures and governance-related challenges to finding steady foothold in the new digital in the new digital age, from scrambling for funding for our survival and for our students, many of whom come from destitute circumstances, to staying relevant and appealing to students and staff, and from operating in a highly competitive environment crowded by diverse private and public institutional types, to cultivating good relations for fundraising and building partnerships with industry for placement of our students, for work-integrated learning and employability opportunities. The appointment of Dr. Maphai as our Chancellor could not have come at the right time in the life of our institution. We are truly privileged to have a person of Dr. Vincent Maphai's caliber, experience, and gravitas as our steward in this phase of our existence as a university. As you know, the success of an institution is largely dependent on the caliber of its leadership. Dr. Maphai's illustrious career that has been punctuated by extraordinary achievements can only give us more hope for the future of our institution. This ceremony represents the culmination of collective efforts to appoint a new chancellor and the concomitant preparations to ensure the successful execution of this event. So I would like to take the opportunity to acknowledge the chair of the CUT Council, Dr. Mbileni Murema, and all the council members for their hard work and dedication to this process. I also want to personally thank my colleagues and each team member for their enthusiasm and commitment towards the preparations. Before I introduce our new Chancellor, it is with great respect that I acknowledge the exceptional leadership of our former Chancellor, Justice Molomela. Her commitment and passion for our university and its aspiration of being a leading academic institution in the African continent have left an indelible mark. Justice Molomela, we are deeply grateful for your invaluable contributions to the university and the community we serve. Your personal support of worthy causes in our communities and your proud Free Stater spirit have been a source of inspiration. We look forward to your continued support to the university. To this gathering, I wish to introduce you to the fourth Chancellor of the Central University of Technology, Free State, as follows. Dr. Vincent Maphai's illustrious career began in 1979 as a lecturer at the St. John's Vianney Seminary and St. Peter's Seminary in Pretoria. Over the last 45 years, he has become a celebrated academic, business leader, and public servant. He was born to working-class parents in Batule, Pretoria, and was the first in his family to matriculate. Education has always been important to him, and his parents instilled in him and his 8 siblings the belief that education is a basic right that should be cherished. Despite being unable to afford university full-time, the future Dr. Maphai did not give up on his dreams. With the help of a Catholic priest, he secured a secretarial job and registered part-time for a degree. The priest's incentive that his employer would pay him 80% of the fees for every course that he passed motivated him to seize this opportunity with great enthusiasm. His dedication and hard work have led to a remarkable career. After earning a BA from a degree from the University of South Africa, he went on to achieve a BA honors in international politics, also from the same university. He then obtained a Bachelor of Philosophy, cum laude, and an MA in Philosophy, magna cum laude, from the University of Leuven in Belgium. Finally, he earned a Doctor of Philosophy from the University of Natal. By age 38, he was an associate professor at the University of the Western Cape. 2 years later, he was appointed professor at the University of Cape Town, and later an extraordinary professor of political science at the University of Pretoria. Dr. Vincent Maphai has an impressive academic portfolio on the international front. His hard work and dedication to academia led him to become a visiting professor at the Northeastern University in Boston, Massachusetts, a visiting professor at Williams College in Massachusetts, an honorary professor of philosophy, and a senior research fellow at the University of Johannesburg. Over the years, he has also been a visiting research fellow at Oxford, Harvard, Stanford, and Princeton universities. And he has even served in councils of various universities in South Africa. In the corporate world, he has held several significant roles, most notably as Director of Corporate Affairs at South African Breweries, and as a Corporate Affairs and Transformation Director at SAB Miller. Currently, he is chair of Sibanye Stillwater, a global mining company. He chaired the Presidential Review and the South African Broadcasting Corporation in the public sector, following appointments by Presidents Mandela and Mbeki, respectively. President Zuma appointed him to the National Planning Commission. Dr. Maphai is a well-established author, having written 2 books and contributed chapters and articles to various publications. He's also an experienced board member, having served on the boards of companies such as BHP Billiton South Africa and the South African Broadcasting Corporation, where he held the position of chair. He also currently serves as the chair of the board of Stadio Holdings. Despite all these accomplishments, this enthusiastic game and macadamia nut farmer cherishes most the time spent with his family, particularly his 3 sons and daughter. This precious time is even more special when spent with his 6 grandchildren. To Dr. Maphai, this portfolio that you will be installed into today is ceremonial, a high-profile role that includes official, pastoral, scholarly, and ambassadorial duties. The Chancellor's most public role is conferring degrees to our graduates. In this portfolio, I'm confident that you will substantially impact our university's growth and development by supporting our academic project and promoting the university worldwide. We are immensely delighted to welcome you as the leader of the university and are extremely excited to collaborate with you for many years to come. In closing, distinguished guests, please feel at home as we celebrate this very important milestone in the history of the Central University of Technology, Free State. Kia leboga, baya dankie, thank you. We will now proceed with the installation and investiture of the Chancellor. I request that the Chairperson of the Central University of Technology Free State Council to kindly accompany the Chancellor to the stage.
After consulting Senate and on the advice of the Institutional Forum, the Council of Central University of Technology, Free State, appointed Dr. Vincent Maphai as the Chancellor of the university. Members of Council of Central University of Technology, Free State, members of the university community, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I hereby declare that Dr. Vincent Maphai has been invested and elected by the University Council as per applicable statute. Honorable Chancellor, as the University Council has appointed you, and as much as you have accepted the appointment graciously, I have the pleasure and honor to announce that all the powers, all the rights and privileges of the Office of the Chancellor of Central University of Technology have now been officially conferred upon you. I will now call upon the institutional registrar to signify the investiture. There's something here.
Vincent Maphai. Ke morwa wa mohopodi Motlha Maphai. Ke setlogolo sa bo selekane le bo sejabaledi. O tlhapile sefatlhego pele ha mongetane wa mpega man. A latlha leoto a tseya letsogo. A tseya nama e bapile le tlhogo. Ba re huilwe ga mothakelo. E re o bona sa pudi mo seleng, o bone sa nku mo gatleng. A tea le mashimo. A tea le mashimo. A tea le mashimo. Ba di shiba re o batlang. Ba re o batla ditaola, ba re ditaola o di sa kae. Ke Motebele, ke Monkokonyane. Yo a rileng he a tlhoka kgomo, a ja motho. Wa! Ke ngwana a pheta selapi sa bafoledi. Nku e mo sakeng la malome. O tsere boseanang kgapele, a tseya bosweu dinokeng. Aha!
Honorable Chancellor, I now request you to take affirmation of the office of the Chancellor.
I, Thabani Vincent Maphai, do solemnly declare that I will, to the best of my ability, discharge all the duties and obligations pertaining to the office of the Chancellor in accordance with the Central University of Technology Free State Statute.
Thank you.
We have reached a pivotal moment in our proceedings, the inaugural address of our Chancellor. In the words of Plato, who said, and I quote, "The beginning is the most important part of the work," close quotes. With this guiding principle, I now invite the Chancellor to the podium to share his vision and insights with us. Please join me in welcoming the Chancellor to address the congregation.
Vice Chancellor Professor Pamela Dube, and the university community in its entirety, staff and students, and their leadership. Former Chancellor Justice Maphai Molemela, Chairperson of Council, Dr. Charity Mbileni Murema, and other councillors. Chancellors, Vice-Chancellors, and senior management of our sister universities and colleges, public and private. Deputy Director General, Dr. Mashia Sotikwa, and senior management from DHET. Representatives from government, business, and industry partners. The Very Reverend Father Peter Ramaketsa, Vicar General of the Catholic Archdiocese of Bloemfontein. Reverend Father Aaron Gabela, Rector of St. Peter's Seminary, and Reverend Zakeleni Mkwanazi, Finance Director of St. Peter's Seminary. Distinguished guests, family and friends, I am singularly honored to be at this point with you this afternoon, particularly on the 20th birthday of the university. My first tribute and gratitude, therefore, is to you, Chair, and your councillors, and all your advisors and supporters in making this decision. I will make sure that you do not regret it. I would also like to pay tribute to the outgoing Chancellor. From everything I've heard, she is a hard act to follow. And I follow her with mixed feelings, with the ambivalence between anxiety and confidence. Anxiety is understood, why confidence in the circumstances? To explain that, let me say something about my childhood. I come from a family of seven sisters and one brother, 9 altogether. And of the two boys, I was the youngest. Now, one of the things you learn as the youngest brother or sister in a family with limited economic resources is that you never get anything new. You never get new clothes. You inherit your shoes from your brother. So Justice, I've learned that to wear any shoes, even big shoes. And my mother developed a very, very easy survival tactics. The big shoes were stuffed with cotton wool. So I believe even in my old age, I will afford cotton wool for your big shoes. And with an NHI coming, I'm sure cotton wool will be available to me free of charge. I'm sure Tinswalo's fortunes are minimal compared to mine, stepping into your shoes. But there's also a measure of anxiety as I've inherited. For me to wear your shoes, I have to develop skills for wearing stilettos. And that, I must confess, is a skill I'm not in a hurry to acquire. My biggest challenge today was deciding on what to speak about. I was caught up between just spewing hot air or hitting you with a painful platitudes. I run the risk of overreach if I start telling you about what a university should or should not do. That is the task of council, which has already done that, and the Vice Chancellor. But I did dare to choose three areas I would like to address briefly with you, all related to what should be expected from a university, any university, and for us, particularly CUT. The first obvious thing, and that's why I talk of painful elaboration on the obvious. The first thing is that the primary function of a university is teaching and research. It is a platitude, but platitudes tend to be important, and we forget them very easily. The second function is to play an additional important role in society. And the third one that we also forget a lot is that society expects from a university to produce leadership. We never take that task serious. Let me take each one of them. Let us start with research and teaching. As I've indicated, this is the central mandate of a university. It is its primary and core purpose, but it is not the only purpose. It is a necessary condition, but not a sufficient condition. We should not, however, succeed in everything else except in teaching and research, because if we do that, we are not a university, regardless of our pretenses. Why did I start with this obvious platitude? I think it has two important implications. The first one is the academic staff and students are actually the core of the university. Those are two constituencies we should examine very, very closely if we want to figure out what kind of university do we want. They are the core constituency, they are the soul and the definition of the university. Secondly, academic staff and students are the quality, the custodians of the institution's quality of outcomes. You will all agree that even in our old age, outside our immediate family, the only people we never forget are our teachers. We remember every good teacher and every bad teacher. Those we remember, I can recite them to you now very easily. Why is this the case? It is because teachers share one quality with God. They can make or unmake students with a single turn of phrase. When God said, "Let there be light," there was light. And when a teacher tells a student that you are a moron or a lost cause, that student instantly becomes a moron and a lost cause. That is the power of teachers. And so the quality of teachers we attract in CUT should solely be their ability and their commitment to building students, not destroying them. We should make sure that no student leaves this campus with bitter memories of our own avoidable causing. We are not responsible for students' happiness, it's their responsibility. But we are responsible for making life miserable for them, and that we need to avoid at all costs. This is what one philosopher of education said. She observed, and I quote, Good teachers literally save lives. However, they do it by loving students, helping them imagine the future, and insisting that they meet the high standards and expectations. The best of them are magic weavers. Many of us can remember such a teacher, one who changed our lives, so gifted that he or she transported us out of our own time, place, and some circumstances, and jump-started the dreams and possibilities that lie within us. Let us hope those are the kinds of teachers we have on our campus. And what I've said about teachers applies in many cases to good leaders. And thus I will return to leaders' issue. The rest of us, from Chancellor to the lowest levels of our staff, are simply here to support the achievement of our core. And we will lend a help to these two constituencies to the best of our ability. That is the commitment we made, and this is good news. But I also have bad news. We will not support staff and students unconditionally. We will support them to the extent that they take themselves and their mission serious. We will support them to the extent that they are driving the academic agenda of our students and doing so passionately and relentlessly. Like horses, we can take them to the river, but we cannot force them to drink. We lack that capacity. Let me explore this idea further. Madam Vice-Chancellor, I hope that amongst many things you will assist me with is the opportunity to meet constituencies of the university, SRCs and everyone. And I would like to start with SRCs. Now let me allay their fears. I'm not calling to meet them so that I can give them granddad's lecture. I'm not planning to meet them to repudiate them, their behavior. I actually would like to learn from them, and I'm sure there's a lot I can learn from them. Let me take a simple example. I'm sure in his house, there are several supporters of Kaizer Chiefs. And I can almost assure you that they are going through deep depression. For a long time, we did so with Bafana until the last match where we did not need our blood pressure tablets. I'm mentioning this to underline that there is a key lesson we need to learn from sports and South African attitude towards sports. When the team is not performing, we fire the coach. Think of how many Kaizer Chiefs coaches we have had recently. We did the same with Bafana. Why are we doing this? In some cases, we do that with management too. Whether this is the right way or not, I think this attitude underpins an important value, which is that quality and excellence are important cornerstones of projects in which we are involved. I've never heard anybody who says, I want the worst possible quality for anything. Quality and excellence in sport. Now, what I would want to discuss with the SRC and later on with unions is that I've seen them on a march a few times. On my first day here when I was coming for induction, I couldn't enter. The gate was blocked. I actually thought it was a guard of honor for me. And they were raising issues. Nothing wrong with that. What I would want to learn from these two constituencies is Kaizer Chiefs supporters are very angry. They want quality, they want performance. But I don't remember seeing any student leadership leading a march in demand of excellence in education. Never seen that. I have never seen a single union member calling for a strike until the levels of education are raised. And I'm saying maybe this is the time we should examine ourselves as a country to say what kind of country are we where we value sports even to the point of assaulting referees and everybody. But when a disastrous person destroys our education, we call them comrades, and favorably so. I think there's something wrong. I think we need to address this. We cannot build a society with that kind of attitude. So to the SRC, I want to say, I'm not complaining about your marches. I actually look forward to more marches. All right, thank you. Let me even emphasize, in some of those marches, I will join you or even lead you in those marches. Provided those marches are about a demand for decent and excellent education here. I want to come back to the second challenge I've set on social responsibility. We cannot say teaching and research is our only responsibility as an institution. We are part of society with its benefits and challenges. I want to focus on one social problem we have: the unemployment of graduates. I've always found it puzzling. I know we blame government for that, and rightly so. Government has its fair share of that problem. Before I expand on it, I want to tell you an incident. I was approached by a private company, Stadio, 3 or 4 years ago to sit on its board. I agreed. And to my surprise, part of the reason why I agreed, it's exactly part of the reason why I agreed to come to CUT. Let's go back to unemployed graduates. Whose fault is it? I don't like asking that question, because the answer will always be, it's your fault, not mine. As I said, government has a role. But is it also not a challenge for us as a tertiary institutions? If we produce unemployable graduates, is society telling us that we are giving out a product they don't want? Is it a challenge for us to begin to ask ourselves, what are we doing here? Are we here to publish, or are we here to teach, or are we here to do all that, but also to put ourselves as a solution to the problem of unemployment? This is what the study said to me about unemployment, which really excited me. They said 74% of their students, graduates, find a job within 9 months. 68% within 2 months. 16% involved in entrepreneurial work. In other words, the institution is solving a social problem through education, through its primary mandate. CUT, I discovered also, has a unit that does work-integrated learning and arranges placements for about 99% of students. Most of these students eventually get recruited by the companies to which they were attached. That's been a trend for quite a while. Now, I mentioned these two things because getting a job, it's not just about salary. It's about giving you an important start in life. I started a job at the age of 18 in 1970. And the salary, or a wage, I don't know, was 58 rand a month. But it was that first job that got me to this point. A job is a transformative gift we can give to students. It is transformative, unlike social grants, which are ameliorative. And Vice Chancellor, I want to commend you and your team for the importance you have attached to this issue of not only teaching and churning out, but make sure that we churn out people that society needs and society can use. And you will also realize that the very fact that our students are so absorbed so easily in the work market is telling us something about the quality of your teaching and the quality of research. No society is going to accept students it cannot use. So congratulations, and I hope we can invest even more in that process. The learnings from this second thing is again clear that the centrality of quality and excellence in our first mandate, teaching and research, it makes it easy for us to deal with our second mandate of society. Number two, this role you are playing in job placement, it's not just a strategic option you are pursuing. It is a moral imperative because you are changing lives of people. Jobs will change their lives. Social grants will keep them quiet for a few weeks. And therefore, as a society, we need to be very careful celebrating the budget we put into social grants rather than the budget we put in the production of sustainable jobs, because those ones really change the quality of people. The other key learning here is that the achievement of these partnerships on jobs, on their job placements, it's impossible without partnership between business and institutions. We live in a country, and I think it's the only country in the world, where business and government passionately dislike each other and hope to take the country forward. That is a magnificent piece of self-deception. This partnership is absolutely critical. We have a lot to teach each other, and we have a lot to learn from each other. I'm coming to my third role of the university. I'm watching my watch. I was given specific time. It's on leadership and transformation because those two things go together. There's no leader who does not have to deal with questions of transformation. But a few general comments about leadership. The first one I want to make is people my age, and even younger or slightly older, must have recognized by now that politically and socially, right now in 2024, the country is exactly where it was in 1989. Exactly where it was. The good news is, it means we have a resource to look back at how did we get out of 1989. Because we did get out of it, and in our folly we went back into it. And there were many factors that got us out of that, but two were critical. One was the quality of political leadership, and the other one was the quality of leadership in civil society. I don't want to say much about the quality of leadership today. The next thing that interests me about leadership, and it gives me sleepless nights, it's something I'm sure all of you have noticed, that what brings down great leaders often, it's not a poor logic, it's not low intellect, but it's fundamentally a major flaw in ethical judgment. It's a major lapse in ethical judgment. And here as a university, we are also vulnerable. One of the most disturbing things is when you read about universities in South Africa, it's no longer about their achievements, but about their scandals. That is disturbing. And those scandals invariably involved a flaw and a lapse in ethical judgment. If that is bad, what is worse is how we deal with it. There's a tendency in this country when public figures fall into disfavor, the first thing they tell you is, I'm innocent until proven otherwise. I don't want to comment on that principle. There are jurists here. I'm not going to expose. All I want to say is, that is true. The only problem is this is utterly irrelevant in cases we are dealing with. When you are a leader and there are major ethical issues said about you, whether they are true or false, your first obligation is to step aside or step out. It doesn't matter whether allegations are true or false. What matters is, does my continued stay on my seat help or disrupt the institution? And in most cases, it disrupts the institution. Even when you are innocent, just sit aside, step aside. Let the due process follow. And if you are innocent, you'll be brought back. And let me tell you, when you come back, you'll come back much stronger than you were when you stepped aside. The last point I want to make on leadership, it's an observation I find quite fascinating. And people my age will have noticed that. I did say it is the role of universities to produce leaders. But one of the striking things is that many leaders have come out of Bush colleges. Some of them are sitting right here. Both in politics and in private sector. They are all sitting here. And I've always wondered, I wish I was still in my 50s, I would have wanted to explore and research why those Bush colleges, politically discredited, poorly resourced, not staffed by the best brains in the country, and yet out of that hopeless situation emerged what I want to call an exceptional concentration of leadership. Think of Steve Biko from the medical school, Mampela Rampela. Think of Bani Pichana from Fort Hare, Ambassador Tenjiwe Mtinzo, Henry Isaacs at UWC, Seth Cooper, Strini Moodley from UDW, Unkupotsetiro, Harry Nengwe Kulu from the North. And what was interesting was the student leadership only occupied their seats for 1 year. And the following year, there was a new team. And that new team didn't even need an induction. It was ready to run. And I still want to understand how such a hopeless situation can really brew leaders the way mushrooms come, just coming out of anywhere. You know, a good dietitian tells you don't have juice because of his high concentration of sugar. Now, those Bush colleges had a high concentration of exceptional leadership. They were seamless, they were great thinkers, they were very, very academically committed, they did everything right. And I think for us as a country, it is a shame that academics have not put aside to say, let us understand this exceptional phenomenon. Maybe there's something that we can learn from it. So Bush colleges, and even the title Bush College was derogatory, but they produced exceptional people today. I wish I can find out, but we have a young generation who can start interviewing those of them who are here. I'm coming to the last part of my presentation on transformation, and I won't say many things here, except to say transformation is a tricky business. If you are a leader, you pursue it, you are a racist. You don't pursue it, you are an Uncle Tom. It doesn't matter how you handle it, you are going to anger certain people. Doesn't matter. It is divisive in nature. It provokes unreasonable expectations and irrational fears. But does this have to be the case? Until a few years ago, I thought it was, but I've discovered it's not. And I didn't learn this from consultants or academics. I learned this from watching a rugby coach I've never met. I don't know his politics and I don't care. His name is Rassie Erasmus. And I want to take your mind back to 2019 World Cup. The Boks had no chance. They were totally demoralized. There were scandals around Kamp Staldraad. There were management issues, there were racial issues, there were transformation. They really go into the World Cup as losers. And let us look step by step what Rassie Erasmus does. First of all, he says, what do we need to do in order to get back on where we should be? And he discovered that transformation was a big issue. And guess what he does? He appoints exceptional black players. And my emphasis is on exceptional. He really brought top quality black players. No sign of tokenism on the black players he brought in. That was important. 2, he supported them. He didn't say sink or swim, see you later. He supported them. Number 3, he retained the old players. He didn't kick them out. He retained them. What did he do? He did something we failed to do as a country. In 1994, we repudiated apartheid, but we did not create a new team. We still continue to hanker on our divisions. And the new team he made enjoyed respect and support from the whole country. Well, there will always be those who did not. Look at people like Mapimpi Kolbe, Yankees Mbonambi. I can go on and on. I still remember how they dazzled the English in that cup final, the last cup final. And I think out of what he does, we begin to see again the emphasis on excellence and merit. It's very interesting. He really put emphasis on those two. And out of that came. He avoided the perils of tokenism. Let me tell you what is the problem with tokenism. It destroys everything and everyone, including those who introduced it. Token appointments add no value, and they are difficult to get rid of because nobody wants them. They can be disruptive in order to protect their positions. They know before all of us that they cannot do their work. They are an embarrassment to the social group that they are supposed to represent. Rassi spared us all of that by bringing the best he could find in our community. And his message to us was, because I respect you, because I respect the country, I will only put the best people forward. And to the old order you are saying, you have skills, you have experience. We need those skills, we need that experience. In other words, he was telling us a fundamental thing about transformation, that it is about who should be included, who has been left out and should have been included. It's not about who should be chucked out. It's not about that. And I think Rassi does it very well. And look at what happens. He'll take a bad player, a black player, and replace him with a white player. Nobody cries racism, simply because he has established his credibility in that. And the impact of that transition for me was important. One, it taught us the centrality of merit, but he also told us merit can only come out of a culture of excellence. If you believe in excellence, you'll only put the right people in the jobs. No sense of entitlement, the rules apply across the board. He changed the quality of the team. And something very striking and counterintuitive, he raised the standard of the team. We are told that transformation means a drop in standards. Actually, the standards were raised in that thing. And I did think, just to wrap up, that we are learning a few things out of that. I've mentioned Rasi, but we know leaders inspire, but teams deliver. It means the whole environment where he was operating was conducive to what he approached. And that, I think, is important. So instead of an epilogue, I just want to reiterate. You noticed I never said finally. I've listened to many political speeches. When speaker says finally, what they mean is finally I've remembered what I should have been talking about. And I just want to pull it together to say, just as Rasi created one successful and lethal football team, it is within our reach to create one successful, powerful country. It's not out of bounds. We can do that. And this is something that we should pursue. And for us at CUT, it means we must build one university with institutional core values that overrides our prejudices so that all of us can subscribe to those core values. The creation of a new South Africa will not come by immaculate conception. We must be deliberate in that agenda, because a house divided against itself cannot stand. And where lies the greatest ability to build that one South Africa? Ironically, it is in civil society. Political parties, by their nature, not by evil intended, are divisive. They don't like, no political party will say that one is like me. You emphasize your individuality. You want to emphasize why you are better than everybody. But I think civil society is able to come together and say, can we begin to rebuild this country? Because I believe if that is not an important and overriding objective, we are getting nowhere as a country. And the good news is we have all the material. We've got the people, we've got the resources, and we've got a platform that we have already accepted, we built a long time ago, and we have ignored it and we have forgotten it. And that platform is what you find in our Constitution. It says, we, the people of South Africa, recognize the injustices of our past, honor those who suffered for justice and freedom in our land, respect those who have worked to build and develop our country, and believe that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, united in their diversity. We therefore, the rest is about the Constitution. And I do believe that if we have the leadership in the country that is gutsy enough to remember that leadership is not a beauty contest. Leadership is a beauty contest only in politics and nowhere else. And I believe if we have people, and we do have them, and our challenge today is to go and drag those 20, 30, 40 leaders, top people, highly respected people in civil society, to say, can you bring us together to start thinking about the building of our country beyond our historical and personal prejudices? Thank you for your attention and for your support. Thank you.
Katameleng, mameleng le seke la nkutlwela. Ha ke le futswella ke le jesa tsebo. Nkadimeng ditsebe le hle le difate dikonokono le ditshele konofolo hore di be mafolofolo ho ka utlwa ditaba tse ruisang setjhaba bohlale ke bua ka mohale. Ntshikeleng ditsebe le hle le di manolle ditaba tsa senatla ke sena. Tshela peo o bone ha tholwana tse molemo di tswa atleng tsa senatla sena. Di molemo taba tse tswang ho a hae molomo ka mantswe o ya aha ha a heletse o ya eletsa. Ke tshimo, ke mobu o matlafetseng mo akgelleng dipeo ka mefuta le tle le bone ha di hlomela. Etswe ena motho o tseba ho hlokomela. Ke bua ka mora wa ha Maphai. Di molemo taba tse tswang ho a hae molomo. Ka mantswe ha a heletse empa o ya aha.
It was a season of hibernation, but now the previous is gone and the new has come. The paramount giant that's being exalted today will stand on the shoulders of this vicinity. He's breaking down the ice. A season of spring is upon us. Springs are flowing through this vicinity. The glaciers are melting away. Magnificence is sprouting. Inception is an understatement. This is groundbreaking.
All hail to thee, Dr. Maphai, the new Chancellor of our fold. With wisdom and grace, your leadership is shown. As we embark on learning, your leadership is shown. Igniting minds, filling with insight. With your leadership, our future is steadfast.
Ki ntata setjhaba o tswa ka matjeke a lokise dihaba. Ha le teng re a thaba re ka thaba jwang atleng tsa senatla sena bonang re le hlohonolo ka boteng ba hae. Le ha mmele o kgathetse o phehella ho sebeletsa ba beilweng kalosong ya hae o itella ho kgathalla le ho baballa bao a badisang ba beilweng tlhokomelong ya hae.
His trail blazing, guns blazing, dismantling and eradicating every barrier that the void had built in our midst. The veil is torn, greatness is unleashed, strong as an ox.
The Central University of Technology Free State welcomes you with warm hearts and minds, our leader and our guide. As we strive to become a leading African University of Technology by 2030, behind your footsteps, we shall gracefully stride.
O tshwana le metsi a kollang sedibeng monate wa lerato la hae o tima lenyoga la moyeng. Nkutlweng hoba ke bua ka mohale ke motswalle wa ba kgeswang ba kgethollwang re ka mo leboha ka eng hoba ha batle le ho lefwa. Re ka kgona re mo lefe re ka mo lefa ka ho mo neha lerato re ka mo lefa ka ho mo sireletsa hobane le ha e le mo a tseba ho tiisetsa maimeng le mahlomoleng ho sena mohlang a re bontshang ha le metsi ke motho le yena o hlokwa ho ratwa ho sireletswa le ho ananelwa.
His strength doesn't only lie in his accolades, because you can't put him in a box. Roll the red carpet. He is rising. Maya Angelou ain't got nothing on him. Like yeast and dough, though he isn't the least.
For us students, this is a world where you either choose to fight, take your spotlight, or you hide. And if you hide, you remain behind. It's a beehive, and if you panic, you lose. That's just life, the honest truth. You either choose to grab the bull by its horns, take your chance and end your prize, or you quit and die twice like a coward. So we hope that you, Chancellor, will inspire confidence for us to win this fight.
His name is Dr. Vincent. Hence his name means conquering, prevailing with augment, long awaited. A season of greatness is upon us. CUT, roll the red carpet, prepare to be in awe. Oh, this is revolutionary. Thank you.
So once again, Chancellor, welcome to our campus fair, where with integrity, innovation, diversity, and Ubuntu, together we shall cut above the rest and strive beyond compare. We thank you.
Thank you very much. As we celebrate this significant transition in our university's leadership, it is fitting to hear from those who embody the spirit and aspirations of our institution. As Helen Keller once said, and I quote, "Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much," close quote. And this spirit of unity and collaboration, I invite representatives from the different constituencies of our university to come forward and share their congratulatory messages. Your perspectives enrich our collective journey. You have been afforded 3 minutes for your congratulatory message, and we are going to start by affording the representative of Senate, Professor David Ngidi, followed by the representative of the IF, Dr. Manto Mulete, thereafter SRC, represented by the President, Mr. Metsing Matraku, and thereafter Ndeu, represented by Ms. Buipelo Nakedi, and thereafter Nehau, represented by Mr. Bennett Mukoma. In that order, you can take the seats closest to the podium. You've got 3 minutes. Thank you very much. Professor Ngidi.
Program Director, given the time that you have allocated to us, please allow me not to greet everyone, but just to say all protocol observed. On behalf of Senate of the Central University of Technology Free State, which is the highest statutory academic decision-making body at CUT, I, by virtue of being the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Teaching and Learning and Deputy Chairperson of Senate, would like not only to congratulate you, Chancellor, on your appointment as the 4th CUT Chancellor, but also to thank you that despite many commitments that you have, you graciously accepted our Council's appointment as the Chancellor of our beloved university. You have already demonstrated your commitment to our institution by blessing 2 of our important events with your presence while you were still the Chancellor-elect. The first being the opening ceremony of our university for 2024 academic year, followed by yesterday's graduation ceremony. Your official inauguration today marks the beginning of our long journey towards achieving our Vision 2030. A plethora of experiences that you bring from academia, research and development, industry, business, and entrepreneurship will come in handy in this regard. Although the Chancellor is a ceremonial head of the university, Senate is excited that CUT's mere association with you and a person of your caliber, experience, integrity, and gravitas as our ambassador will make our university shine and progress in leaps and bounds as your predecessor has done. As we celebrate our university's 20 years of existence, we as CUT Senate welcome you to CUT and pledge our support and commitment to serve under your stewardship. Thank you.
Thank you, Program Director. I will align myself with the greetings of protocols given by Prof. Ngidi because of time. The Institutional Forum of the Central University of Technology constitutes of academics, professional staff, Senate, labor representatives, student representatives, alumni, management, council, and all other representatives of staff. And today it's an honor as the chairperson of the Institutional Forum to speak on behalf of these colleagues that are mouthpieces of transformation and adversity in their respective roles and are ensuring that they contribute towards their mandate as per the Higher Education Act and the institutional expectations. Chancellor, a very unpopular perspective that has been expressed over the years is that being a chancellor is just a decorative title given to people for ceremonial purposes. However, those who understand higher education will appreciate the role of a chancellor, which amongst others is to provide strategic leadership to a university, which in our context is to assist us in our quest to reach Vision 2030 and achieving the dream of becoming the leading university of technology in Africa. Not only that, but also to influence one of the two historical moments of the university this year, one being the 20-year celebration, and another being the Welcome repositioning, which was not only influenced by the revolution of students, but was a strategic move for the university in realizing the potential of this campus given its geographical location. You are further given one of the most important roles of being the ambassador of the institution and assist in raising the profile and image of the institution. And as we celebrate our 20th anniversary, in which it has gone through many victories and equally experienced mishaps, as you have also indicated, and in this journey of creating an identity in where everyone connected to this institution can identify with it through the series of transformation summits we have had, the workshops and surveys of organizational culture, which is to bring alignment to existence. We hope to see your contribution in that regard, and further, for you to run with our flag to the world. Being a chancellor is a job given to those with prestige and experience, and yours resonates with the advancements of the university. CUT has identified you because of your skills and your attributes that you are possessing, which is to understand the academic, also to understand the professional, and also to understand industry and how these three are supposed to be realigned and be one. Even though you do not have a managerial role as a chancellor, ours as the institutional forum is to hope your presence will influence the university in their quest to reach institutional consensus on issues of transformation, adversity, given the historical existence of this institution. We further hope that you will serve as a mediator of internal issues, as it is amongst the roles and expectations of a chancellor, through your contextual understanding of the university and its community. We are humbled as the Institutional Forum to have formed part of identifying you as a chancellor, and by you accepting this role, and we hope that you will achieve the goals that you have set up for the university, for yourself, and also for South Africa and the world. Thank you.
Thank you to the majority stakeholders, which are the students, the external stakeholders, the executive council, senate, the various deans, HODs. Chancellor, let me just allay your fears and everyone here. Do not make a mistake of thinking students are protesting against you. Do not make a mistake of thinking those placards are against you. Students are saying we are welcoming you here to this institution, and we want to make you aware that at this institution, we have students who are, over 80% of our students are NSFAS eligible. Not all are funded. And we cannot make ourselves as if we do not exist in the broader world. We cannot shy away from the fact that we are facing a national pandemic of direct payments, which is directly hindering the higher education sector. Students are saying to you, since you are now our father, this is the cry we have. Please assist us in this journey, as those that you have found as this institution have been doing. I do not want to talk much about your responsibilities. I think you are learned, you read, you know them. I want to teach you about the soul of the institution. CUT is an institution that consists of a variety and diverse students. Most of the students at this institution come from the poorest of poor backgrounds, but academically they did well. I always say majority of our students, if we were to check their APS score, they qualify for your VAS or UCT. They are here, they have the brains. You talked about us finding ways to fix our issues. I can tell you, based on the number of conversations I've had with the various HODs, deans, and executive, ideas are here. What students are saying to you is, for years, universities, particularly public universities, have been dependent on everyone else but themselves to actually find a way forward. We are saying to you as students, we believe that here at CUT, we have more than enough qualified personnel for us to come up with ways to fix our issues. No one had to come from outside to ensure that all these students who are coming from financially disadvantaged backgrounds are able to register for free. It was the decision of the institution. Now, there's many more that we can take. And also, we are in agreement that the third core value of CUT is innovation. Innovation cannot just be limited to academia. Even innovation with regards to society at large. We are young. When I was sitting, I was looking at most of the people on the stage, and I can just say from the top of my head, I'm pretty sure most of you went to school during apartheid. Most of you were already conscious during the transition period into the new dispensation. Now there's another transition period where the youth of today are inspired by all of you because you went through those hardships and now you are here with all those credentials. Your job, when we push and we say we want to go forward, is not to stop us, is to guide us on how is the fastest way to reach that point that we want. That is the only way we'll reach our destination. Also, I must finish speaking because if it was Reg, the program director, I think I was going to be able to steal 2 minutes extra, but it's Prof. Michelle. I'm not sure if she'll let me. So let me just conclude fast. VC, when we are welcoming the new Chancellor, I hope that you do take the time to tell the Chancellor that as CUT, we have been solving our issues indoors, we have the capacity, and we are eagerly awaiting that meeting where we are going to discuss issues on how to ensure that our institution not only reaches Vision 2030, but reaches it and now formulates a new vision on how to go from that point. In closing, to the Central University of Technology students, please clap your hands for being as peaceful as you have been up until this point. And we are still clear, Naroko must fall. Vice Chancellor, we welcome you to the Central University of Technology. You made the correct choice, and we hope that you are going to be as eager to solve issues as most of the people that you find here that we've been interacting with. Vice Chancellor, I'm still waiting for the response to that email. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and all protocol observed. On behalf of NTEU, the National Tertiary Education Union, we are privileged and humbled to be part of this CUT collective in welcoming you, Ntate Maphai, our Chancellor. The wealth of varied experience and expertise across the public, private, and third sectors that you bring us, or you bring with here at CUT, as a developmental institution, we appreciate it and we believe that it will form part of the tertiary education tapestry in South Africa. Your leadership will hopefully enhance our perspective lens for institutional transformation, entrench the labor-friendly environment, celebrate and embrace talent, consolidate the principle of inclusivity, and ensure that the most important clients, being mainly our students or the young people, will continue to realize their academic dreams unhindered. As National Tertiary Education Union, we believe in an integrated labor process and recognize the diversity that constitutes this important institution in the Free State Province of South Africa. We are conscious of the multiple forms of challenges and wish to commit ourselves as a labor movement to working with you and the institutional leadership in an effort to balance the interests of all internal and external stakeholders while we remain firm in confronting the intersectionality of issues that affect all of us differently as men and female, and particularly Black women, and people with disabilities, race, gender, and ethnic categories. We are looking forward to the leadership of you, Ntate Maphai, that hopefully you will inspire confidence, linguistically and culturally diversity, and non-racialism, and hegemonically mold the policy and social infrastructure that must inject as a sense of institutional identity and solidarity within a diversified and cosmopolitan environment that must also recognize the existence of our countryside. Therefore, as National Tertiary Education Union, we wish you all of the best in your leadership endeavors as the Chancellor of the Central University of Technology, and we are mindful of the othering challenges ahead. It is in this context that NTEU will remain a transparent and inclusive stakeholder whose mission is to contribute towards the building of a learning institution as a legacy for the future, whilst our brief for our employee clients will continue to be an important mandate as we work with the Chancellor and the executive leadership of Central University of Technology. We also take this opportunity to congratulate the university as we celebrate our 20th anniversary as a University of Technology. The time of your appointment, Ntate Maphai, coincides with this milestone, and we are confident that you will steer the ship in a progressive direction. Masego ke a Ntate Maphai, our Chancellor, re a leboga on behalf of NTEU.
Chancellor, Dr. Vincent Maphai. All protocol observed because of time. I was mandated just to come and say congratulations. But unfortunately, I'll be failing the masses of how if I don't say one or two words. As the fourth Chancellor of this university, you can heavily rely on the support of the majority union, which is very progressive. We accept your challenge for an engagement. One of the good ways that we have utilized is to be deliberate and intentional. We are a union that is very much deliberate and intentional in everything that we do. Unfortunately, you might have mistaken us for a toy-toy, but we want you in the boardroom, where we'll discuss robustly and ensure that this university goes to greater heights. We want to say to the Chancellor, the university, and all the visitors that are here, we commit now how to support and ensure that all the endeavors of this university are being achieved. And Chancellor, you come at a time when this university is making a serious reflection in order to map the way forward to achieve our Vision 2030. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There was an oversight from my side. I would like to call upon Mr. Lekgowa Seleke on behalf of Alumni Association.
Thank you very much, Program Director. In the interest of time, allow me to just say all protocol observed. Program Director, it is my distinct honor and privilege to extend a heartfelt congratulations to the incoming, in fact, the new Chancellor of our esteemed university. This university is very close to our hearts. As graduates of CU2, it is very close to our hearts, not only because it contributed immensely towards shaping our fortunes, but also because it gave platform to multitudes of youth from less privileged backgrounds. When it appeared to be impossible to access institutions of higher learning, the Central University of Technology Free State opened its doors for the downtrodden masses of our people. And for that, we are eternally grateful. Today, as we witness the inauguration of our new Chancellor, we also commemorate a significant milestone in the history of CUT, which is the celebration of 20 years of excellence in education, innovation, and service to our community. Program Director, I'm glad that our Chancellor spoke of graduate unemployment. I think it is also important that we need to also introduce our Chancellor to the challenges that our graduates are faced with. Chancellor, you have just joined a university that has withheld the certificates of graduates who are not able to pay off their debts. It is a problem because they can't be competitive on the job market. We trust that in your leadership, you will be able to ensure that the multitudes who can't compete in the market are being assisted. On this momentous occasion, we stand at the threshold of a new era for our alma mater, and it is very exciting. The appointment of a new Chancellor signals a fresh chapter in the journey of the Central University of Technology Free State. We are confident that under the leadership of our new Chancellor, CUT will continue to thrive and evolve as a leading university of technology, poised to make even greater strides towards excellence by the year 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, the Alumni Association Executive recognizes the profound impact that CUT has had on our lives and careers. It is a place where we forged lifelong friendships, where we gained invaluable knowledge and developed the skills necessary to succeed in our chosen fields. Now, as ambassadors of our alma mater, we have a duty to ensure that CUT not only endures but flourishes for generations to come. All of us here, we have a duty to ensure that CUT outlives the rest of us and continues to be the beacon of hope in our communities. We believe that the inauguration of our new Chancellor, coinciding with the 20th anniversary of the university's existence, is a symbol of continuity and progress. Together we can harness the collective wisdom, experience and passion of our alumni community to support our new Chancellor in his endeavors to steer CUT towards its rightful place as a leading university of technology in South Africa. As we look to the future, we are confident that our new Chancellor possesses the charisma, the skills, and strategic vision necessary to effectively engage with a diverse range of individuals and organizations. Whether it be forging partnerships with government agencies to advance our research agenda, cultivating relationships with generous donors to support our mission, or reconnecting with alumni to strengthen our community ties. Our Chancellor's ability to navigate these complex landscapes will undoubtedly be a tremendous asset to our university. Ladies and gentlemen, the Alumni Association Executive would like to take this opportunity to urge everyone to reaffirm their commitment to the ideals of excellence, innovation, and service that defines our university. Let us embrace this moment. Let us embrace this moment as an opportunity to reaffirm our collective commitment to a bright future that lies ahead for our university. Together with our new Chancellor at the helm, we'll continue to strive for excellence in all we do, guided by a shared vision of better tomorrow for our institution, our community, and the world at large. I would like to once again extend my warmest congratulations to our new Chancellor. May your tenure be marked by vision, integrity, and dedication to the advancement of our beloved alma mater. Together, let us work towards a future where the Central University of Technology, Free State, continues to play a vital role at the center of South Africa, shaping the minds and futures of generations to come. Program Director, thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, colleagues. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will now sing the national anthem. I request the choir to lead us. Please rise for the national anthem and remain standing until the Chancellor has dissolved the congregation and the procession has left the hall.